Hey amigos, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about an idea called mindfulness. It will really help you to perform at your very best in life, but also in sports. It's an absolutely crucial skill. To start this idea, let me tell you a little story. And it may seem a little bit weird, but you'll see how it plugs in at the beginning. Years ago, I was in college. I was up at the library studying. I got done, packed up my stuff in my backpack, and rode down the hill on my bike. Hair blowing straight back in the wind. Got back to my apartment, locked up my bike, and walked into my apartment I shared with 5 other guys. And there, in the middle of our shared kitchen, was one of my roommates and his girlfriend. He was sitting in a kitchen chair with a pot, literally like a pan of water in his lap, and his girlfriend was shaving him in the middle of our kitchen. I had no words. I didn't even say anything. I just walked by. It was weird, right? But believe it or not, my weird roommate has a lot to do with you performing at your peak potential. Stick around and I'll tell you how. I'm Dr. Nathan Pallai. This is Speed Tribe. Now, as of right now, you've taken your physical measurements, both your biceps, all of that, like physical measurements, weight, body fat, and hopefully you've taken like your jump measurements, your speed measurements, and taken your pictures. If you haven't done it, stop the video right now and go do it. If you don't take actual measurements, you can't see if you've progressed. Also, hopefully you've started working on your nutrition. Be diligent, it's simple stuff, and your workouts. But if you do it, you will see progress, period. It works every single time. But what we're working on in these videos is our brain. How do we develop our brain? How do we progress? So we've talked about a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. We've talked about discovering some of those stories that hold us back. And then we started working through some of those barriers with our skills journal and our anti-talent show. How is your anti-talent going? Still pretty much suck? It's all right. That's good, actually. Keep doing it. You'll get better. The point is to learn, right? We are all about growing. We're all about getting better. So we've talked about the power of mindsets, right? And if the mindset or a belief is important, it's really valuable to be aware of what our minds are doing so that we can use them effectively. Sometimes if we're not aware, we miss out on an opportunity that we could have enjoyed. This is true for sports and this is true for life. Now it is true for sports and that's what we're all about. But let me show you how if we're not aware, if we're not processing information correctly, how we miss out on an opportunity. So back in high school, I had a crush on a girl. She had long brown hair. She played the violin. She got like a 34 on the ACT. Her older sister was crazy. She was super interesting to talk to. She was cute. I liked her. So I got up the courage and asked her to dance. I think it was like homecoming or something like that. I don't really remember now. But I remember picking her up and she had obviously spent some time getting ready. Like she always looked cute, but she was looking good. Like I couldn't form complete sentences without being awkward. And it was fun. So fast forward, slow dancing in circles. She smelled good, like springtime and hope. I don't know if it was perfume or hairspray or makeup, but I don't know. Anyways, so we get to the end of the night and I take her home. It's dark. I walk her to the porch. I look into her eyes. I know it's cliche, but they were sparkling. And it was the moment. You know what I wanted to do right then. I wanted to kiss her right there on the front porch. But I didn't know if she wanted to kiss me. So I hugged her, thanked her for a fun night, and retreated to my car in kind of a joyful turmoil. The next day, her friends come up to me and are like, "Why didn't you kiss her?" And I was like, kiss her. I didn't know if she wanted me to. And they're like, "Idiot boy." Of course she wanted to. And then they proceeded to walk me through all the obvious signs of which I had been oblivious. And here's the point. If you are unaware, you miss out on opportunities. This is so true of sports and life. Your brain's not only a really good learning machine, it is a phenomenal computational computer. Like it can take great amounts of data. Like you can see the whole floor, the whole court, the whole vision. It can take all this data in, collate it, calculate it, and help you to make instant, great decisions if you are present, if you are aware, if you know what's going on. But the problem is usually you're not aware. Usually you're not present. And the reason is that you're just caught up on your own thoughts, that you're not aware of your surroundings. It's kind of like when your dad is watching TV and you call his name, but he doesn't even hear you until you block the TV and you say, Dad. Well, you've probably been that person too. And then he said, what? Like he's waking up from a trance. And it's not just him, right? We all do this. You ever be driving home and not realize how you made it the last 6 blocks, or read a book and realize that you have no idea what happened on the last page? Just because you get so caught up in these other thoughts that you're not present. It happens all the time. It's natural. And it's because and I know this isn't so profound or anything, but it's because your brain thinks thoughts. I know it sounds so stupid, but your lungs breathe, your stomach processes food, and your brain thinks thoughts. All the time, it thinks thoughts. It's what it does. And if you take a second to be aware of this, you'll realize that your brain is thinking all the time. It's literally like living with a roommate. And unfortunately, frequently like a roommate that's crazy and shaving in your kitchen. Your brain just has a nonstop commentary on everything. And you just don't notice it because you think it's normal. Your brain will be like, oh, I like her hair. Look at that tree. Crap, I forgot to. Or, oh, I got to remember to turn in that assignment. And then that will lead to, remember that time we turned in an assignment late to Miss Bellers? She's the worst. And then you're having an argument in your head with imaginary Miss Bellers. Like, it's all over the place. But most of the time, you're just not even aware of what's happening. If you don't believe me, try this the next time you get in the shower, enjoying one of the greatest joys of modern society, hot water. Notice what your brain is doing. Instead of enjoying the feeling of that hot water on your skin, you are thinking about all sorts of other things. Your brain is just going and going like a crazy roommate. So try this. We're just going to try and be completely present and mindful in this moment, okay? One of the tricks to being present and to being mindful is to focus your thoughts. You really can't think of nothing, so you can focus your thoughts. And so we're going to focus your thoughts on your breath and on your breathing. What you're going to do is you're going to shut your eyes and you're just going to focus on your breathing. You might feel silly doing it, but humor me. I can't even see you, so don't worry about it. All right? So close your eyes, sit up straight, be ready, be calm, relax those shoulders, everything. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Fill up your lungs, fill up your belly, feel your chest expand, and then release it through your mouth. Now do it again. And just notice where you feel the breath. Is it the coolness in your nostrils? Is it in your throat? Is it in your mouth? Do you notice it more in your belly, in your chest? Just pay attention to the breath, right? And notice as you let it out, notice the warm air through your mouth, right? And so I want you to do this just 5 times, just 5 breaths, nice and easy, nice and gentle, and I'm just going to be quiet for a second, okay? Okay, come back. Open up your eyes. Now, notice, where were your thoughts there at the end? Did they wander a little bit? Chances are they probably did. That's okay. That's what brains do. But what we want to do is we want to become more aware when your brains wander, when your thoughts just are thinking. We want to know what's going on so that we can make the best possible decisions when we are called upon to make decisions. So pay attention to your thoughts. And notice something else. Just the fact that you can notice your brain thinking means that you're not your thoughts. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but you are not your thoughts. So often we judge ourselves by our thoughts, but you are separate from your thoughts. You can observe, see, hear your thoughts. You can call it a soul, you can call it consciousness, you can call it self, whatever you want to call it. But but you're separate from those thoughts. Your brain is just thinking and you can observe it. This separation is valuable. It means that you can just treat these thoughts like a roommate. And we'll talk more about this in future trainings, but it's enough just to notice your thoughts. Don't fight them, just notice them. Since your brain is just pathways, the more you engage or argue with a thought, something that makes you feel uncomfortable, the more you strengthen that pathway. Instead, if you try an experiment and you just notice a thought that's uncomfortable, and then you picture it like a boat going by on a river and you're just like, that's a thought, and let it go, then you can free up space for things you actually want to think about, growth and other things. Or you can think about your thoughts like clouds passing by in a sky. I know that sounds kind of hippie-like, but humor me and just try it out. Notice your thoughts and just be aware of them. And let the thoughts come and go and just chill. Just let your roommate of your brain do his thing. Be aware of what he's doing so he doesn't burn the house down. But get ready to coach him or her in the future. Just be aware. There are a couple of things that are going to help you to increase your awareness. And so here comes your homework. You're going to do 3 things for me on this homework assignment. Number 1, I want you to begin to meditate. Now, this isn't like cross-legged, it can be, but that's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about just being aware of your breathing. So you can use your phone and you can just set a timer for 5 minutes and you can just focus on your breath and be aware of your thoughts and just bring it back over and over again to your breath. If you feel like you need a little bit more coaching, there's some great apps out there. Things like Simple Habit. They have some free meditations on there that you can use that work really well. Or there's Insight Timer. They have some free stuff. They also have some wonky stuff, but they're good. If you want to pay, there's apps like Calm or Headspace. But here's our number 1 thing. Meditate, be mindful for 5 minutes at the beginning of the day. Just 5 minutes. Just be aware. You will be amazed at just how being aware of your thoughts makes you more capable of processing information. Number 2, also at the beginning of the day, so 5 minutes meditation. Number 2, I want you in your sports psychology journal here, I want you to write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning, different things. What this does is, because we're talking about building new pathways, this trains your brain to notice and pay attention of good things, and therefore be more prepared to take advantage of good things when they're available. And so, number 1, meditate. Number 2, every day write down 3 things you're grateful for. And then number 3, throughout the day, I want you to practice just observing your thoughts. If a thought comes that makes you uncomfortable, just let it pass on through. Don't try and fight it so much. Just be like, thanks, roommate. You're doing great. And just let them be them. This will put you in a position that you can develop greater mental strength and control in the future. But it's got to start with awareness. Okay, got it? This is advanced stuff. It takes practice. Don't expect to be perfect at it all at once. It's like expecting to hit 60% from 3, but doing no practice at it. You've got to put in the time to make it work. Do the work, start small, be consistent, and you will grow, I promise you. If you want some help, apply for coaching. We'd love to talk you through this process. I love having you in the tribe. I'm grateful you're here. Much love. We will see you next time.